Hello students. Last class we started with the decimal numbers, and we saw a small introduction about the decimal number, and we also saw how to compare two decimal numbers and also the multiplication and division of decimal numbers. Okay, so in this video we'll start with the exercise problems. Okay, so the next exercise is exercise 2.5. So what is the first question? Which is greater? Okay, they have given two decimal numbers and we have to find out which one is greater. Okay, so the first question, 0.5 and 0.05. Okay, so we have to compare these two decimal numbers. So what is the first step for comparing two decimal numbers? First step is that we have to check the place towards the left hand side of the decimal point. Okay, so what is the place towards the left hand side of decimal here? It is 0. Okay, so 0.5. So towards the left hand side of the decimal, the place is 0. Okay, what about here? Here also it is 0. Correct? So towards the left hand side, both the numbers are 0. So what is the next step? We have to check the number towards the right hand side of the decimal. Okay, so what is the number here? 5, and here the number is 0. Okay, so which is greater, 5 or 0? 5 is greater, right? So 0.5 is greater than 0.05. Clear? Now let's take the next example. 0.7 and 0.5. Okay, so the second question is 0.7 and 0.5. So similarly, what should we do first? We should see the number towards the left hand side of the decimal digit. So here it is 0 and here also it is 0. Okay, so we cannot conclude anything from this. Correct? So next step is we have to check the number towards the right hand side of the decimal digit. Okay, so what is that? Here it is 7 and here it is 5. Okay, so which one is greater, 7 or 5? 7 is greater, right? So 0.7 is greater than 0.5. Clear? Okay, the third question is 7 and 0.7. Okay, so 7 means, what does that mean? 7.0. Correct? 7 can be written as 7.0. Now compare the two numbers. First number is 7.0 and the second number is 0.7. Okay. Now take the first number, 7.0. What is the digit towards the left hand side of the decimal? It is 7. What about the second number? What is the digit towards the left hand side of the decimal? 0. So here itself one is 7 and one is 0. Okay. So which one is greater? 7 is greater. So in the first step itself we can conclude that 7.0 is greater than 0.7. Clear? So first step is that we have to check the digit towards the left hand side. In that itself we can conclude that one number is greater than the other number and we don't have to proceed further. Okay, so but in case if the digit towards the left hand side of both the numbers are the same, for example here it is 0 and here it is 0, then we cannot conclude, right? Then we have to move on to the digit towards the right hand side. Clear? Now let's see the fourth question. Okay, one is 1.37 and the other is 1.49. Now here check the digit towards the left hand side of the decimal. It is 1 here and here also it is 1. Correct? So it is 1 here and 1 here also. So can we conclude which one is greater? No, we cannot conclude because both are same. Now we have to go on to the digit towards the right hand side of the decimal. Okay? So here it is 3 and here it is 4. So 4 is greater than 3. So 1.49 is greater than 1.37. Clear? Now let's move on to the fifth problem. 2.03 and 2.30. Here also if we compare the digit towards the left hand side of the decimal point, here it is 2 and here also it is 2. So can we conclude something? No, we cannot conclude anything. Correct? So let's move on to the digit towards the right hand side of the decimal. Okay? So the first number, the digit towards the right hand side of the decimal is 0 and the second number it is 3. Okay? So since 3 is greater than 0, 2.30 is greater than 2.03. Clear? Now similarly, let's take the sixth problem, 0.8 and 0.88. Correct? So what does this 0.8 means? 0.8 can also be written as 0.80. Correct? So now let's go on to the problem. That is, if we compare the digit towards the left hand side of the decimal point, here it is 0, here also it is 0. So we cannot conclude anything. Now the second step is that we have to compare the digit towards the right hand side of the decimal point. Here it is 8, here also it is 8. Again we cannot conclude anything. Now let's move on to the second digit towards the right. Okay, so with the first digit we could not conclude anything. Now let's move on to the second digit towards the right. Here it is 0, here it is 8. So 8 is greater than 0. So 0.88 is greater than 0.80. Clear with this? Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the second problem is express as rupees using decimals. Okay, and in that first one is 7 paise. So this 7 paise we have to convert into rupees and write it in the form of decimals. Okay, so for solving this we should know something beforehand itself. That is, we know that 100 paise is equal to 1 rupee. Okay, we know that 100 paise is equal to 1 rupee. So we should know how much is 1 paise. 1 paise is equal to, let us consider that as x rupees. Okay, now to find out this x, what we have to do is we have to cross multiply this. Okay, so cross multiply these two. What do you mean by cross multiplication? That is, you have to multiply 100 paise into x. That is 100 paise into x is equal to, you have to multiply 1 paise into 1 rupee. 1 paise into 1 rupee. Okay. Now we have to find out this value of x. Okay. So what is x? We have to take this 100 paise to the other side of the equation. Okay. So if when the 100 paise is there in this side of the equation, we are multiplying it, right? 100 paise into x. Okay. So whenever we are taking this to the other side of the equation, if it is a multiplication sign here, when this goes to the other side, it will become a division. Okay. So x is equal to 1 paise into 1 rupee divided by 100 paise. Okay. So this paise and paise will go and x is equal to 1 by 100 rupee. Okay, so x is equal to 1 by 100 rupee. So what is x? X is number of, x is how much is 1 paise in rupee, that is equal to x. So 1 paise is equal to x rupees, correct? So x is equal to 1 by 100. So 1 paise is equal to 1 by 100 rupee. We got this answer, right? Now we have to substitute this here. Okay. We got 1 paise is equal to 1 by 100 rupee. So 7 paise is equal to 7 into 1 by 100 rupees. is equal to 7 by 100 rupees. How can you write this 7 by 100 in the form of decimal? Is equal to 0.07 because there are two zeros in 100. So whenever we are dividing some number by 100, we have to put a decimal point 2 digits to the left. Okay, so 1, 2. So we have to add a 0 and 0.07 rupee is the answer. Okay, so always we have to put this rupee. Okay, now we will go on to the next problem. So first problem answer, I hope you are clear with it. Now the next problem is, what is the next problem? 7 rupees and 7 paise. Okay, next problem is 7 rupees and 7 paise. We have to convert in the form of rupee and we have to write it in the form of decimal. Okay, so we have already found 1 paise is equal to 100 rupee. Okay, so we have already found what is 7 paise. 7 paise is equal to 7 by 100 rupees is equal to 0.07 rupees. Correct, we already got this answer. Now what we have to find? We have to find 7 rupees and 7 paise is equal to 7 rupees plus 0.07 rupees. Okay, so how to add a whole number and a decimal? Is equal to, we will get the answer 7.07 rupees is the answer. Okay, clear with this? Okay, now we will go on to the next problem. Next problem is 77 rupees. Third problem, 77 rupees and 77 paise. Okay, now again in the similar fashion, we already got 1 paise is equal to 1 by 100 rupees, right? Is equal to 0.01 rupees. Correct? Now we have to find how much is the value of 77 paise. So 77 paise is equal to 77 into 0.01 rupees. Okay, so how will you multiply a whole number and a decimal? We have to ignore this decimal point and we have to find the product. So 77 into 1 is 77. Now we have to see how many decimal points we have to put. So 1, 2, 2 digits to the left, 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. Now in the same way in the answer you have to put decimal point here. Okay, so 2 digits will be there to the right of the decimal point. So the answer is 0.77 rupees. Okay, now what is the question? 77 rupees and 77 paise is equal to 77 rupees plus 0.77 rupees. Correct? 77 paise, we got the answer as 0.77 rupees. Okay, so we have to add these two and the answer will be 77.77 rupees. Clear? Okay. Let's see the next problem. Next problem, that is fourth problem, is 50 paise. Okay. Here also the same way, 1 paise is equal to 0.01 rupees we got, right? So 50 paise is equal to 50 into 0.01 rupees, which is equivalent to, if we ignore this decimal point, 50 into 1 is 50. Now how many decimal points, how many digits should we leave to the right? 1 and 2. So if we leave 2 decimal point to the right, you will get the answer as 0.50 rupees. Okay, 50 paise is equal to 0.50 rupees. Now let's move on to the next problem. Next problem is 235 paise. Okay, so how much is 235 paise? In a similar way, we got 1 paise is equal to 0.01 rupees. So 235 paise is equal to 235 into 0.01 is equal to, you put 235 directly. Now how many decimal points should we leave? 1 and 2. So if we leave two digits to the right hand side, you will get the answer as 2.35 rupees. Clear with this? Okay. Okay, the third problem is express 5 centimeter in meter and kilometer. Okay, to find this out, just like the previous problem, we should know some data beforehand itself. Okay, so what is that? We know that 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. Correct? So we have to find the value of 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to how many meters? Okay, so for that, let's take 1 centimeter is equal to x meters. Okay, now to find the value of this x, we have to cross multiply these. Okay, so how to cross multiply? 100 centimeter into x is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 meter. Correct? You have to multiply in this fashion. Okay, 100 centimeter into x is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 meter. Now from that, if we calculate x is equal to, we have to take this 100 centimeter to the other side of the equation. Okay, so here it is multiplication. If you take it to the other side of the equation, you will this multiplication will change into division. Okay, so x is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 meter divided by 100 centimeter. Okay, so if we cancel this centimeter, we will get x is equal to, x is 1 centimeter, right? So x is equal to 1 by 100 meter. X is equal to 1 by 100 meter. Okay, so we got the answer 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 100 meter. Correct? Now apply this in this problem. So we have got 5 centimeter and we have to express this 5 centimeter in the form of meter. Okay, that is the first part of the question. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 100 meter. So how much is 5 centimeter? So 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 100 meter. So 5 centimeter is equal to 5 into 1 by 100 meter is equal to 5 by 100 meter. Okay. So whenever we multiply a number, divide a number by 100, what should we do? We should put the decimal point. There are 2 zeros here. So in the answer, decimal point should be 2 digits to the left. Okay. So what will be the answer? 0.05 meter is the answer. Okay. So this is the answer for the first part of the problem. So we got 5 centimeter is equal to 0.05 meter. Okay. So that is the answer we got here. Now what is the second part of the problem? We have to convert this 5 centimeter or 0.05 meter into kilometer. Right? So the 0.05 meter or the 5 centimeter, both are same, has to be converted into kilometer. Okay. So for that, what do we know? How do we relate meter and kilometer? 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. Correct? So 1 meter is equal to how many kilometer? So that let's take it as x. So if we cross multiply these two and these two, 1000 meter into x is equal to 1 kilometer into 1 meter. Correct? 1000 meter into x equal to 1 kilometer into 1 meter. So from this, if we find the value of x is equal to, we have to take this 1000 meter to the other side. So 1 kilometer into 1 meter divided by 1000 meter. Okay. So if we cancel this meter, we will get the answer as 1 by 1000 kilometer. Okay. So this 1 by 1000 kilometer can be written as, so 3 zeros are there in 1000. So how many decimal point, how many numbers, digits should be there to the right hand side of the decimal? 3 digits. Okay. So 0.001 kilometer. Okay, 0.001 kilometer. So we got 1 meter is equal to 0.001 kilometer. Correct? So what should we find now? We have to find how much is 0.05 meter. Okay? So 1 meter is equal to 0.001 kilometer. So therefore 0.05 meter is equal to 0.05 into 0.001 kilometer. Clear? Which is equivalent to, how will we multiply? Just first ignore the decimal points and multiply the numbers. 5 into 1 is 5. Now how many decimal points should we put? 1, 2. In this number 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 5 decimal points should be there. Okay. So what should we write? So here 1 digit is there. So we have to add 4 zeros to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? So 0.00005 kilometer is the answer. Clear? How to multiply these two decimal numbers? First we have to multiply the numbers, ignoring the decimal points here. So 5 into 1 is 5. Again we have to see how many digits are there to the right hand side of the decimal points here. So here 1, 2, 2 digits are there, and here 1, 2, 3, 3 digits are here. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So in the answer 5 digits should be there to the right hand side of the decimal. Okay. So the answer is 0.00005 kilometer. Okay. Clear with this? Now we will move on to the next question. Okay, next question is third question, second part is express 35 millimeter in centimeter, meter and kilometer. Okay, so first we should know what is the relation between millimeter and centimeter. Okay, so what is the relation? 10 millimeter is equal to 1 centimeter, correct? So 10 millimeter equal to 1 centimeter. Okay, so we should find out how much is 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is equal to, let's take it as x centimeter. Okay, so again the same method, if we cross multiply here, what will we get? 10 millimeter into x, 10 millimeter into x is equal to 1 millimeter into 1 centimeter. 1 millimeter into 1 centimeter. Okay, now keep the x in this side and take the 10 millimeter to the other side, because we have to find the value of x. Okay, so x is equal to 1 millimeter into 1 centimeter divided by 10 millimeter. Okay, so this millimeter will get cancelled. So x is equal to 1 by 10 centimeter is equal to 0.1 centimeter. Okay, so now we know that 1 millimeter is equal to 0.1 centimeter. Okay, now apply this here. Okay, so we have to find out how much is 35 millimeter. Okay, so we know that 1 millimeter is equal to 0.1 centimeter. Okay, so 35 millimeter is equal to 35 into 0.1 centimeter. Clear? Is equal to, if we multiply 35 into 1, 35. And how many digits are there to the right hand side? 1 digit is there to the right hand side. So in the answer also we have to leave 1 digit to the right hand side of the decimal point. So 3.5 centimeter. Okay, 35 millimeter is equal to 3.5 centimeter. This is the first part of the problem. Okay, now what is the second part? We have to find out how much is 35 millimeter or 3.5 centimeter in the form of meter also. Okay, so we should know how much is 33.5 centimeter in meter. Okay, so for that what should we do? We should find the relationship between meter and centimeter. Okay, so we know that 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. Okay, so 1 centimeter is equal to, let's take it as x. Okay, so now if we cross multiply these two, 100 centimeter into x is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 meter. Okay, now we have to find the value of x. X is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 meter divided by 100 centimeter. Okay, now the centimeter get cancelled. So x is equal to 1 by 100 meter, which is equivalent to 0.01 meter. Okay, so now we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 0.01 meter. Here what we have to find? 3.5 centimeter is equal to how much meter? Okay, so 3.5 centimeter is equal to 3.5 into 0.01 meter. Okay, which is equivalent to 35 into 1 is 35. And how many decimal points should we leave? How many digits should we leave to the right hand side of the decimal point? Here 1 and here 2. So totally 3 digits we should leave. So here 2 digits are there. So we should include a 0 in the front. Okay. So 0.035 meter. Okay. 0.035 meter. Now is the question over? No. Again we have to find this in terms of kilometers also. Okay. So this meter has to be converted to kilometers also. Okay. So we should know the relationship between the meter and kilometer. Okay. So what is the relationship between meter and kilometer? We know that 1000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. Okay, so we should know how much is 1 meter. 1 meter is equal to, let's take it as x. Okay, so find the value of x. You can cross multiply. You can cross multiply, and 1000 meter into x is equal to 1 meter into 1 kilometer. Okay. So we have to find the value of x. X is equal to 1 meter into 1 kilometer divided by 1000 meter. Now meter cancel. So is equal to 1 by 1000 kilometer, or this can be written as 0.001 kilometer, because since there are 3 zeros in 1000, 3 digits should be there to the right hand side of the decimal point. So 0.001 kilometer. Okay. So 1 meter is equal to 0.001 kilometer. Now what we have to find? How much is 0.35 meter. So what is the answer? Is equal to 0.035 meter is equal to 0.035 into 0.001 kilometer. Did you understand? Because we got 1 meter is equal to 0.001 kilometer. Okay. So we have to find how much is 0.035 meter in terms of kilometer. Okay. So 0.035 meter is equal to, we have to multiply these two. Okay. 0.035 into 0.001 is equal to, if we multiply the numbers alone, 35 into 1 is 35. Okay. Now we have to see how many digits we should leave to the right hand side of the decimal. So here 1, 2, 3 and here 1, 2, 3. So totally 6 digits should be there in the answer to the right hand side of the decimal. So here how many digits are there? 2 digits are there. We have to add 4 zeros. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 and point here. Okay. So 0.000035 kilometer. Clear with this? Okay, rest of the problems we will see in the next video. Bye.